what another great episode of Fate Stay Night. Like, I don't have words again. Comparing this to like last week, I like the amount of progression we've got. This feels like an episode where we're advancing very fastly with what's about to happen, and along with that we were still given a bunch of information while the episode still gave homage to older information in older series such as Fate Zero, and just the way things are tying together is really nicely done, because the whole Master's flashback about how she originally come into this war particularly, and how she's already had one Master, and then obviously their ideals completely clash, so because of her personality she basically stripped herself away from that Master and killed her, and then found her new Master, which I just thought that was really nice because it shows that bond between them. We haven't seen that side of Master yet, and whereas before we've just seen her as like a conniving sort of like manipulator, we actually get some like, we get to see the more humanity, we get to see her more human side, I'd want to say. So that was interesting. And then we also find out, well, they've finally subjected that Berserker's heroic spirit is Hercules, which I thought they were going to do it in a much more dramatic way. The way it is in the visual novel for the Fate route, which I thought that was much more impactful to the way it was done here. But I guess since Archer was pretty much a know-it-all and he seems to understand everyone else's situation in this war, he already put the pieces together. So I guess it makes sense that he knew, because for some reason we still don't have all the clues about Archer and then the theories of Archer and Shiro, and just, yeah, we won't even get into that yet because it's really interesting the way things are going. And I just like the way that we've come back to the Ainsfeld Castle, which is in Fate Zero, and I just like how freaking Shinichi, I wish he'd just go and die, I'm really sick of him, but I like how we go back to that courtyard on the roof, and it just pays like really good homage back to Fate Zero, with the kings meeting on the roof, and now we've got like Hercules, who was like, he could have been a king if he wanted to be, and then we've got freaking Gilgamesh showing up and just taking out the homunculi, and just, it's setting up to be a dramatic fight, which we're gonna get, because I'm not gonna say what Berserker's noble phantasm is, but since I know what it is, and it's slightly been hinted at back in the first season, Gilgamesh versus freaking Berserker would be an epic fight, just because of the amount of ability that Gilgamesh has. And now if you don't know who Gilgamesh is, he is the dude who, the yellow-haired dude who is with Shinichi. He's the dude who was pulling the swords out of everything, but I'm assuming everyone who's watching this has already seen Fate Zero, so they already, you know who he is. So this battle is going to be hype as balls. And then obviously freaking Shiro and Rin are just making their way in. Their whole interaction was nice. I like how they brought that in. Still, I don't really agree with them trying to like work with other masters. I guess it makes sense, like how they were going to go and see Ilya, what's her name? I'm sure it's Ilya, and Berserker. Like, I would have thought that Rin would have been more in the mindset of going and speaking to Lance's master yet, because they don't know that it is Kira yet. So I would have thought she would have been more inclined to try and find out who that master is, but I guess she's short on time, so she wants to try and get Saber back as soon as possible. On the note of that, I feel like Saber's going to end up going under Master's control, but they will be able to break Saber out of it somehow. But I don't think she's going to go to back to Shiro. I think Rin's going to become her master. I don't know why, I just had the thought when I was watching this before, just watching this episode, and I was like, if they actually do somehow break through to Saber, because Saber's obviously going to go dark, I feel like that Rin will be the one to do it over Shiro, just because this is Rin's route. So obviously if it was like the Fate route and Shiro liked Saber, then it would make more sense for him to get her, if you know what I mean, because he's obviously more interested in Rin. So I don't know why, I just feel like Rin will get the control over Saber, and then that'll be a pinnacle thing in it. But that's just theory crafting about later on. And getting back to this actual episode, just the whole fight scene on top of the courtyard was awesome. I like how, for their censorship, instead of using black bars or anything else, which we've seen in past like seasons of anime and such, I like how they use the blur effect, so you could still get an image of what was happening, and then when you just see the sword straight through the homunculi, maybe it's just because they are homunculi and they're not actually real humans, they've just got human like abilities, as Gilgamesh says. It was just really nicely done. Like, obviously the music was great, the animation was great, we had progression in the plot, the character development was obviously amazing, and we're all being brought to this focal point, this center point in the castle, where we're going to have a clash of these two spirits, as well as Rin and Shiro showing up, so it's going to be interesting. I can't see, maybe Lancer's just like on the outskirts and he's just going to observe and pass everything back, but interesting. It's interesting. What, talking about Lancer, I'm surprised he let Caster get away. It has been stated that Caster is the greatest one to get away. She's the hardest one to kill because she has got the most potential for escape. But like, this is talking about her flashback when she was like killing her first master, and she basically used all her mana, all her energy she had at the time. Lancer comes up in the lift, and you can see that he's attacked her because she's covered in cuts and stuff when she's found, but he basically lets her go. It doesn't seem like he's chasing her or anything. So maybe she just got away, but maybe I'm overthinking it. But overall, an awesome episode. I cannot wait to see this hype fight next week. Berserker versus freaking yellow-haired archer, Gilgamesh, whatever you want to call him, is going to be hype as balls. I feel like that could be the majority of the episode, just that fight. Rin and Shiro might show up because they might, as they're walking, we might get a cut out of the fighter at one point and they'll see an explosion on the roof and then they'll just peg it straight down there. But really, really interesting. I just hope Ilya doesn't die, because we're getting hints about Ilya's mother and the past, and she was looking at Shiro like longingly to talk to him about something. I hope we get this interaction because it'll be really, really interesting for the plot. I just want to see them converse together properly, and just for all these pieces to slowly come together and to get us, for us to get the full picture of some information that I'm not going to divulge right now because of spoilers. But let's just say this, we have a lot of good things coming, and this episode was amazing. I'd give this another 9 out of 10 happily. I absolutely love this series. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought, what you think is going to happen, how epic is this fight between Berserker and Gilgamesh going to be, because I cannot wait. You just seen how easy Gilgamesh just took apart two homunculi who were supposed to be like super strong. They're basically like inhuman warriors which normally can't be killed, so very, very interesting, very interesting, very, 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 very interesting. And they were also talking about Ilya being the vessel. So I'll just leave you with that thought. Anyway guys, I've been Harry. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe and all that great stuff. And I shall see you soon for more Fate Stay Night. Goodbye.